So now we're actually in the studio, and we're going to just walk around and we're going to talk a little bit about your process and what's actually in the studio. So you did mention the fact that you painted with the dowel.
Yes, I do the drawing with it. I don't do the painting. So when I want to do a beginning of a painting, I put the canvas on the floor so that I'm not too close to it. Yeah. Because I don't want to get too tight. Yeah. And then I draw. So for example, I can't draw a perfect circle, which if I was up here with a little brush, I probably could. Yeah. So it makes it freer just to sort of do that kind of thing. Oh, wow. Because what I often do is I could finish this painting just like it is, and then I won't like it. So I gesso over parts of it, and then I leave parts that I like. Okay. And it turns into a totally different painting, but I still really like it. Wow. And in the beginning, I didn't. So yeah. So you basically start with the idea of the idea is how you feel. Right. And you're drawing with how you feel. And then once you're done your drawing, and obviously there's a few layers to that, right, you then pop it back up on the canvas or on the easel. Right. And for instance, over here is one that's I'm in progress. In process. Yeah. Yes. And I don't like this. I don't like that shape. Yeah. So I'm going to have to white that out and change it somehow. I need something there. Yeah. But I don't like that. Yeah. So do you put it back down and draw on it again? Yeah. So it's kind of this give and take in terms of the process. And you can see right here. Yeah. This canvas was up the other way. If you will hold that for me. This canvas was up this way. Yeah. And I had a man there. I thought, oh, wow. I thought, well, what if I have a person there? Because I'm trying to find something different to do other than what I have done. Yep. And then I thought, well, that looks stupid. What was I thinking? So I turned it this way. So I don't really understand abstract expressionism, which is kind of what you're doing right now. Yes. When I think of abstract expressionism, I tend to think of the typical Jackson Pollock. You're being expressive. But this is more, it's not that it's controlled. It's more about the color and just the shapes that you're doing. And, and you just, as you feel whether you like it or not, then you move with it. Yeah, when I lived in New York City, everybody was, the abstract expressionism was just coming to an end. Yeah. So, but we were doing it in school. Yeah, okay. And so pieces like this that you have on the side of your easel are for... Yeah, for collage. Collage, and you'll put those in as well? Yes, and I have a lot of them right there, that pile. Okay. So basically, you start here, you paint. You've got your canvases here where you'll pull from, depending on your size, you'll choose just depending on how you feel. You work with it. Then obviously we've got the finished pieces over here, which is where it's kind of your gallery. Yes. But how long does it take you to go from there to here? I can't say. That's good. Depends on the size, the difficulty. Some of them, like that one in the corner there, that's called the Dancer. So this one here is called the Dancer. Yes. Wow. I finished that probably within 3 or 4 days. Wow. Okay. Others might, I don't know, they might take 2 or 3 weeks. Right. And you come down every day to paint. Okay. And if I don't feel well, I come down here anyway, and I have a rocking chair. Yeah. So I'll just sit in my rocking chair and I'll look at things, and all of a sudden I think, oh, I know what to do next. And I jump up and I start doing it. Yeah. Which is wonderful, because an artist should always do that. Jamie Jardine, one of my mentors, and actually I still take lessons from him, but he's always telling me, Jane, step back. Yeah. Oh, you have to. And a lot of what an artist should do is look and see what's out. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, for sure. I go, I walk a lot when I paint, so I'll go up here and I'll paint, maybe just that gray there. Yeah. And then I go back here, all the way over here. Yeah. And I say, oh, that's okay. And then I go back and I'll do a little bit here. Wow. And then I think, no, that looks stupid. I don't want that there. But it's walking back and forth all the time. Wow. And the other thing I find fascinating, come on over here, is I love looking at people's paint. And you are so organized. Oh my goodness. If you came and look at my paint section, it's like, it's
crazy. But you basically work with the heavy body acrylic. You pop them in the little containers.
Yes.
And so you're working with one color kind of at a time. And
yes, that's the trouble with acrylic.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that on a palette.
Yeah.
Because they dry so quickly.
They do. Yeah, for sure. But that's actually well organized. So when we start looking around, you have little sayings which keep you motivated and keep you on contract, which is great. This is so mediums and things so you obviously use gels and different things for collage. And then I'm really interested in terms of what's this?
That's archives.
Okay.
So it starts with the year I was born and it goes up to 2023. So I have to start a new box now.
Yeah.
In them, there's photos and awards and prizes and exhibition catalogs and newspaper articles and magazine articles. And some of them are really, really full. And some of them hardly have anything in them.
Okay.
Like especially the 2006, 2005, 2006 in there.
Yeah.
That would be about the time that I had the show about the women in World War II.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't include your artwork, photos of it. Actually includes stories about the artwork and the things that you were going through. Okay. And then I presume you are taking photos of your art.
Oh,
and,
yes.
You know, so maybe you're producing a catalog or something as well, or how do you keep track of all of your art? Or is it basically, okay, or is it more, you know, some people view their art as their children. Right. And other people view their art as, okay, I'm done with it. Right. And then it's the process. And once the process is done, how
do I keep track of it? Over here.
Yeah. So
I have a book. I have one of these for every few years. This is 2017 to 2023. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See, April, and that's 17, 19, 20. See, these are all the paintings I did each month.
Oh, wow. So you keep track of all the paintings and you keep track of whether they sold or when collections and all of those things.
So that one sold, that one sold. So
the ones you've given away and
yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And this is
your book.
This is where I keep track of colors, because sometimes you'll mix a color and use it in a painting. And then you think, oh, I want to use that again. And you can't think, how did I make that color?
Wow.
So I keep it. So these are all paintings that I've done. And some of them are awful. Let's see if I can find an awful one. I'm sure there's several in here. Wow. Like that was really stupid, I thought.
Yeah, but I
didn't like that.
Yeah. But it's still, there's great colors in it. Yes. You know, and compositionally it looks, I don't know abstract art very well, but it looks.
And and that's awful, but it ended up like this. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And it ended up like this, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And that sold.
Wow.
So, and these also, well, this one sold.
So, and these are the ones that, they're kind of like celebration of life paintings.
Yes.
Right. So these are the ones you're working
with. But I'm
now,
keeping track of the colors that I used, which is very important. Because if I go back one day and I think, oh, I remember I did that beautiful purpley blue.
And you don't know how
did I do that? And I've got it right here.
Yeah. Wow. I love, one of my favorite things of doing is looking at artist sketchbooks.
Oh, yes. I like that too.
Love the artist sketchbooks. Or the little drawings that look like that's a bit of a bunny.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah, I was at the hospital and I did these just sitting in the hospital. The lady there gave me these papers.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, well, you've got to do something when you sit and wait all the time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. And then... So what is the purpose of your middle table?
I use it when I'm gessoing the canvases. Okay. And if I'm doing some collage, sometimes you have to press on it. So I put a book behind the canvas so I can press on it.
Got it.
I just, sometimes it's a mess. Sometimes it's a mess all over the place.
Wow.
But I don't really like a messy studio. I don't like the time it takes to find something.
Right.
So I want to know where everything is. So I'm painting. I'm not searching for something.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And a clean studio, but also keeping your tools clean as well.
Yes, that's important.
Okay. I'm not going to invite you to my studio right now. It will get clean, but organized. Yeah.
Have you ever? What's Francis Bacon? Have you ever seen Francis Bacon's studio? Oh, this will make you feel so good.
Oh my goodness. Because that's where his ideas are kind of all the juxtaposition.
Yeah, and it's deep. They said it's about a foot deep on the floor.
Look at it.
That looks like your studio.
It does. But one of the things that I like about the studio coming down, this is in the basement of your house, but it's so airy and light.
I know.
And it's a great place to kind of be, and you're kind of, it feels like if you come to Johnenne Maddison's house, this is the nerve center. This is where,
and that's what attracted me to this particular condo was the door and the window.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think I would have taken it if it was just a regular basement.
Yeah.
But you redid it all and served as the contractor.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right. It took a few months, and you just gutted the place and redid it. So this is to your style.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a wall right down the middle here.
Yeah.
And a door there to get into this room.
Yeah. You've even used under the stairs, of course.
Yes.
It becomes the storage space for some finished canvases, I bet. Some canvases in process and some canvases ready to be painted.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah, there's quite a bit in there.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Can we sit down again? I think we'll do one last little bit. Okay. And then if that's okay. This is
That's my husband, Dave.
Oh, that's Dave?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And that's
Margie Hennon did that.
Wow.
She's an artist. She lives in Halifax.
Wow. So you've always got Dave present.
That's my grandson, Braden.
Wow.
He's the greatest kid.
But this is, can I touch this for a second? Yeah. So this is collage and embroidery.
Yes.
As well. Yeah. Okay. Work.
That's all machine stitched.
So that's like the pieces that are in the
the War Museum.
The War Museum.
Yes,
okay.
I started with acrylic painting on the canvas, and then I stitched over it.
Wow, that must have taken you so much time.
It did.
Oh, wow.
Painting is a lot easier than textile work.
And then watercolor.
Yeah, that's my son. And Adam, do you know Adam Mitchell? He's a London artist. That's his son.
Okay. You started as a watercolorist, did you? Or no, you started?
No, I started in oils.
Okay.
In New York City. Yeah.
Okay. I did read somewhere about how when you came to London, somebody said you changed how lots of people learned how to do watercolor.
That's right.
Because I find it incredibly difficult, but I do like the looseness.
Right.
But you brought, somebody would say it's more controlled, but
it is, yeah.
But there's architectural, it's defined, that's pretty great.
I painted more in watercolors. I painted more like the British watercolors.
Okay. Yeah.
And when I arrived here, there was a teacher, and she was doing it very, very loose, more like the American style, very, very loose.
Yeah.
And I changed, and then all of a sudden, everybody started doing watercolors like mine.
Yeah, which is we obviously you were teaching watercolors at the same time as well. Yeah, which is great. So we're back after having walked a little bit around the studio. I find it so fascinating watching how people work and what they do and the process that they go through. And I love seeing artist studios. This next little section, we kind of turn a term into the artist studio. So I don't know if you've ever seen a show called Into the Actor Studio.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, it was a PBS show for a long time, but they had actors come in, and in front it was in a university in a classroom setting. They asked questions, and a lot of these questions developed into stories and other things, and it was just kind of a great give and take. Okay. So some of these questions are take them however you would like, answer them however you would like. What is the meaning of art?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that.
I know, everybody hates that question. Answer that as big or as small as you'd like.
I don't think there is something you can say, here's the meaning, because it means something different to everybody. I don't think there is one answer for that question.
No. So what is your answer then? What's the meaning of your art?
It's just something that I have to do. If I don't do it, I feel sick. Like I had a cold not long ago, and so I didn't paint for quite a while. And I felt ill not having been here, and I almost got depressed. And I thought, what the heck's the matter with me? And then I thought, I haven't painted. To me, art is just a huge, huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'd do without it.
Yeah.
If I have cancer. If I get sick to the point where I'm not going to be able to physically paint, I think I may as well just go.
Yeah.
I don't. I've already applied for maid. Sorry.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mail me somewhere. I've applied for maid, so I would just call them and I'd say time to go, because I just can't imagine not painting or not making something.
Yeah. Okay. So when that time comes, how do you want people to remember you?
Oh dear. Well, there will be some people who won't remember me very well. I don't know. Just, I hope I'm remembered that I'm a kind person.
Yeah.
I think being kind is one of the most important things in life.
Yeah.
And I would love to be remembered as being a kind person
and a kind artist. Well, when you talk, you want people to remember you as an artist, but making a difference, obviously, in terms of those things. Okay. What is the importance of art? So it's not so much about the meaning. No. So why is art important?
I don't know. I don't know. It does bring, in most cases, beauty. Like if you go into a house that doesn't have any art on the wall, you think, what's the matter with these people? It's really weird.
Yeah.
I think we need it for beauty, and I think we need it when things get really bad.
Yeah.
I've had people email or call me and tell me that they have a terrible disease, or they're really depressed, or their spouse just died, and they'll say, and I woke up in the morning and your painting was on the opposite wall, and it felt so much better. I got out of bed because I felt so much better. And I think that's important for people. It's
kind of like it's the process of the art that you're going through, but then it's the person who views it and what they take out of it as well, which is sometimes a little bit different. I know that when I used to think the purpose of art was to make statements about life. And to make statements about history. And it was more of a social action voice. Right. And I think that's only one of the purposes of it. But it's not necessarily everybody's purpose. But it's kind of how I learned art history. And I know a lot of artists learned history just through how art kind of reflected what was going on or made statements about what was going on, which were quite kind of telling. Right. And I always thought, well, if it's not making a statement about something, it's not necessarily art. But that's not necessarily true, because all of us need beauty. Right. So it's just... And my art right now is about such simple little things, just something I was thinking. There's no grand statement. No, and sometimes those are the most important, right? Yeah. Like the one down there, the last one on the bottom there. In the plastic? Yes. Yeah. That's called My Last Supper. And I've done one a year since I was told in 2020 that they didn't think I was going to live all that long. Yeah. So every year I do My Last Supper. Oh wow! Okay. So it's not a huge important political statement. It's just a little thing about me. Yeah, but maybe it's about you. But at the same time, it still reflects what other people are going through as well. Yes. Like we all as individuals are going to be facing that same. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for talking about this, because I think it takes a lot of courage to talk about the journey that you're on. So thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. For sure. Yes, it's very, very fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Okay. Something mundane as when they were doing Into the Actor Studio, they talk about what's your favorite word. So what's your favorite color? Do you have a color? Yes. Yes. Can you tell it's turquoise? I wasn't sure. Turquoise or aqua. And why? I don't know. It was my best friend died a couple years ago. We were best friends for about 78 years. Yeah. And her favorite color was turquoise too. So we were just always drawn to that. It was so popular in the 50s. You could get a turquoise car. Wow. It is a beautiful color. Yeah. Okay. Next question. What kind of frustrates you the most about art? About art, or again, answer that as big or as small as you would like. It bothers me when I see people who can't paint worth a darn making a ton of money on really, really what I consider, well, see, that's me talking, what I consider really bad art. And this morning I was watching a program on TV,
and there was, I'm not going to tell you who, there was an actress who's now an artist, and they were awful. They were just, her paintings were awful.
Yeah.
And she's selling them for tens of thousands of dollars.
Because of who she is?
Yes, because of who she is. And that kind of bugs me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they haven't necessarily gone through the same process or the same journey or put the same work in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What inspires you? So that's what frustrates you. What kind of is there something that just gets you?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Like even little things. I'll see a little piece of paper folded over another piece, and I'll say, "Oh, that is so neat." Or I'll see a twig ready to fall out of a tree, and I can just sort of box it in and think, "Well, that's a nice composition."
Yeah.
So just many, many, many things inspire me.
Yeah, that is the one thing I've always. Particularly the last couple of centuries, when artists really started turning their view to, or at least what we historically saw, because we don't know what artists were doing like 500 years ago if their work didn't last, but they started to draw people, or they started to talk about like the average normal people, doing average normal things, but bringing the beauty of the ordinary things kind of to the forefront.
Like Van Gogh did.
Yeah.
Just people sitting around in a cafe or out in the fields.
Or flowers, or, it just became something new. So artists, that ability for artists to see and observe what's actually going on, actually, I think is amazing. Okay. What do you consider to be success?
Oh,
and some people hate that question. So if you
no, it's okay. For myself, I would feel successful if I had a show that sold out, that sold everything. If I was invited to have my work in the AGO.
Yeah.
To me, success is more than what I have.
Yeah.
And yet, when I think about it, I have been successful. I have managed to support myself and my son, and I've sold a heck of a lot. I've done, I don't know, probably thousands of paintings.
Yeah.
And I've sold most of them.
Yeah.
So.
And you have made a big difference to a lot of people in that context, right? So
I hope so.
Yeah, well, whether it's the London artistic community, right, with again being on the board of the Arts Council, giving paintings away to whether it's Unity Project or to the charitable art auctions makes a huge difference in terms of those things. But also, as you say, if your piece can inspire someone, that's great. And for me, success probably is probably painting or drawing more often than I actually do. So or success is what's in my head gets down. So I'm not actually successful yet because what's up here isn't getting there.
Yes, I think I would feel successful within myself if the paintings I was doing I thought were beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
So you don't think these ones are?
No. Well, I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd like to do some paintings that are really beautiful, and I don't seem to. I think the paintings are good, but I don't think they're beautiful.
Oh, okay. So how would you do that then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether you do it with color, or maybe it's in my own mind.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
But I've never felt as though I've done work that's beautiful.
Yeah. It is interesting. The better someone gets, the more they see how far they have to take it.
I know.
It's just,
I know.
And any artist I've talked to,
that's so true.
They're just.
I think male artists are better at it than females.
Are they? Okay.
Yes, the male artists I know, whatever they do, whatever comes out of the end of their pencil, they think it's wonderful. The female artists think, oh, I could do so much better.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So if you had to, if you were going to have some folks over, sit down for tea. So when we arrived, one of the very first things that Johnenne offered us was tea. Actually, I love that. But if you were to sit down and have tea with someone, who would you like that to be?
Shirley MacLaine.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
She just seems like a really fun lady to me. Yeah. And when I was a young woman living in New York City, I was often mistaken for her. And I know it's changed now, but in those days, yeah,
because she just lived her life out there. And,
and she doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah. And if you were to sit down with an artist, a visual artist, who would that be?
Oh, there's so many.
Okay, who would you invite to a party then? Picking one might be too difficult. Would there be a couple folks that you
Van Gogh would be nice to have.
Yeah.
Yes. And oh geez, I can't. Sorry, I just can't think of any names right now.
Yeah, but you have known many and most of the London artists.
Yes.
Over time, and I mean, I look and think, wow, you've had some great people that you've
Yes.
actually already connected with.
Yes.
Over time, whether
Yes.
it's like Eric Atkinson.
Oh, I just adored Eric so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been amazing. Okay, two final questions. So and the way he phrases this, you get to the pearly gates, St. Peter's there. What do you want St. Peter to tell you? So, so what do you? And it's kind of the same thing. What do you see as sort of the defining thing, or in a religious context, lots of people want to go say, well done, thou good and faithful servant, that kind of thing. But what would you like St. Peter to?
I want him to tell me, well, you can come in.
Yeah.
but I want it to be fun.
Yep.
I want him to be fun.
Yep.
I want to go, if I'm going to go anywhere at all, if there is any place to go to,
Yep.
I want to be laughing. I have a pillow on my bed that says laugh.
Yep.
I want to have an exit out of this world that's fun.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have a party.
Yeah. Well, if you do, invite me.
I will. I will.
And just the one final question: is there anything anything else you'd like to say? Anything that we've kind of missed? Any final words? Or
I don't think so. And you're welcome to come over anytime if you have questions.
Okay.
Or if you need help with anything.
Yeah.
Not that I know everything, but
no, I had a piece with some mildew on the back of it, just due to the fact that so Glenn, who's here, was wonderful, turned our garage into a studio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
But of course, I mean, it's still airy and everything, but of course, without the humidity and everything, it's just, and I'm learning acrylic, so I was just having a lot of fun spraying and adding a lot of water to the piece. And so Catherine Morrissey came over. Al from Westland suggested I chat with Catherine Morrissey to just have a peek at it. So she was able to come over and tell me what to do. And I'd never reframed something. I'd never taken a canvas off and put it on frame. It was really fascinating. So yeah, no, I'd love to come over and
sure.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Sure. Okay.
I don't go very far.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd love to, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd love to come over. Okay. That kind of knowledge transfer is wonderful and amazing. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So thank you. That's another thrilling London artist to kind of meet, and we'll see you next week.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.